I'm back on the video on the channel. Yes ma'am, yes sir. So today's video is about Larry and Pete. Is it Maravich? I'm gonna just say Pete. Pistol Pete. Okay, I'm gonna just say Pete. So Larry's talking about Pete, how good he was with the ball handling skills, and it's not too many people Larry say that they're good. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really think about it, Larry Bird don't comment on how many people is really good at basketball. So for Mr. Pete to get this recognition by Mr. Larry, he was a beast. But everybody did say he was a beast. But let me quit talking. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and push the notification bell. That being said, let's get it.
It's like a part of his hand. And I said, he must spend a lot of time dribbling and dribbling.
How many hours?
Through the 1970s, the times kept on changing as lightning-quick guards like Tiny Archibald and Calvin Murphy shaped and baked opponents with their fancy footwork, while finding new ways to...
Pause. See, that's what I'm saying. As a basketball fan, I really pride myself on being a basketball fan, right? But I get so disappointed in myself when I have never heard of some of these people, like the two point guards he just named. Never heard them in my life. And obviously, they brought something to the game that is not talked about right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what?
Get to the hoop. But the master of improvisation was the man known as the Pistol, Pete Maravich.
Just say the name
Maravich,
Maravich, or the nickname Pistol Pete, and the mind's eye recalls the flying hair, the floppy socks, the incredible moves. He was box office, and he was a metaphor for what the sport of basketball can be.
Keep your eye on his hands, as Pete Maravich demonstrates some pretty slick ball control.
Yo, that's crazy. Yo, so let me find out Pete was the first person to spin the ball on his finger. Is that true? That makes you think, like, who's the first person to start spinning the ball on their finger? But nah, I have heard of Pistol Pete, though. I'm not gonna hold you. I had heard of him. I heard he was amazing. They said his career got ended short with his knee injuries, but I could be wrong. That's what I heard.
You know, your dad's one of the best players ever pick up a basketball.
You're looking at
Look at
Pistol
him.
Pete Maravich, in my opinion, the greatest playmaker playing today.
I'll probably have to say Pistol Pete.
Flying hair at the top, rolled down socks at the bottom, a 6'5" enigma in between.
Pete was blessed with a great amount of ability, natural athletic ability. Pete could do a lot of amazing things with the basketball. He was really a showman. I mean, Pete would go out there to, put on a show. I mean, that's what he wanted to do. That's how he looked at himself, as a showman.
Dang, look at that quality. What year did he play?
Transcended what basketball has become, which is a game.
Oh, he was back in the day. I mean, I heard of him. I just never seen. I did a video on him, actually. But I don't remember the video not having 3-point lines. So he was back in the day. Okay.
It's as much entertainment as it is sport. And he
Who
was the penultimate entertainer.
True entertainer. And I think he looked at entertainment more than basketball.
He was an entertainer at heart, and his ability to pass the ball and dribble the ball and do outlandish things on the court, which sometimes even overruled the game.
Played the game with a tremendous flair.
As flamboyant as...
So my question is to you all. If he was doing all that, brought entertainment to the game, brought showmanship, all that to the game, all this crafty stuff, why wasn't it entertaining for people to watch? Does that make sense? Because everybody said Larry and Magic brought the NBA back to life. But if you had players doing that, why wasn't that enough to get people to watch? Does that make sense? Like, is that the right question? Like, did I ask that right? Hopefully y'all understand.
As any player I've ever seen with the basketball, and an entertainer. Maybe the best entertainer our game's ever seen.
I played for the fans. There was no doubt about that.
Famous for his playground moves and circus shots,
Ooh.
He always added his own special touch of showmanship.
Pete was a showman.
He was a showman. You see that move? Do you see this? And so we were all just sitting there in amazement. I mean, he was uncanny.
Unstoppable. It was as if you had melted down all 12 Harlem Globetrotters
and then filled up this skinny 6'6" white frame with everything they had.
He had a fire about him.
Like, who is Earl Monroe? I ain't never heard of this man.
This globetrotter type of guy.
Woo!
Nobody handled the ball better than Pistol. But he wasn't just satisfied with that. He had to put a little show on.
Pistol was like a guy, the game was boring to him, so he had to create things to keep him interested. Just coming down, making a nice pass, he had to go through his legs or 2 times around his back.
That's crazy, bro. He threw that so easy. If you really sit here and think trying to do that, that's hard. Especially with him when he was on the floor going like that, and the ball was still bouncing and he was that close to the floor. That's hard. That's hard. That's crazy.
Beautiful.
The things that I did with the basketball, behind the back pass between the legs, things of that nature.
Takes in reaction drills, quickness drills to improve your quickness, your coordination, your confidence, and your overall ability to handle a basketball.
Knowing the impact that he made on the game, you know, my dad probably has to move out of the way. You know, AI's probably got more out of the way. Kobe's probably got more out of the way. But Pistol Pete was unbelievable, man.
That was my question. I was going to ask you all, which current NBA player today reminds you of Pistol Pete? Is there anybody in today's NBA reminds you of Pistol Pete? If you can't think of somebody today's time, think of somebody just in general who played the game, reminds you of Pistol Pete. Let me know.
If you go back and you look at film of what this guy was actually doing with the basketball.
Watch him for a moment, and then try to conjure the right word.
Woo!
While you watch, remember what you're seeing happened more than a quarter century ago.
That ball looks like a part of his hand. And I said, he must spend a lot of time dribbling and dribbling.
How many hours a day would you spend with a basketball, bouncing and shooting, and say when you're 12 years old?
When I was 12, Don, during the summer months, about 8 hours a day, between 8.5, and during the winter months, about 4 hours a day.
Do y'all hear that? Anybody who wants to achieve anything in life, it takes consistency, it takes practice. It takes consistency, it takes practice and discipline. At 12 years old, bro, at 12, he ain't even fully developed. But at 12, he knew he wanted to be great at dribbling. Practicing 8 hours a day in the summer, on his summer vacation. That's grind. That's real. That's that hustle.
I've been in the right place.
Oh, we got music. Can't have music.
I dribbled so much, so many different ways. Learning new types of drills to dribble with 1 ball, with 2 balls. Do what I call stutter dribble, back over like that.
Try that again. If I'm guarding you.
You got your hand there.
Woo!
You know, and you never see a white boy doing that. This is a white boy I'm talking about. This ain't a brother, but he must have had some brother in him because he was a dazzler.
Pete Maravich was so far ahead of his time.
And you know what I just randomly thought about? He low-key just making up his own drills on his own. There was no YouTube back then. There was no social media back then. There was no, oh, I see this person, I'm going to try to do what they do back then. It was more so like, I'm going to teach myself. If a defender come this way, I'm going to do crossover. You know? That's crazy. That's that IQ.
He was 10 plays ahead of everyone else.
Greatness.
He was shooting far, too?
Did he just do what I think he did?
But watch again, for this is the gift he left us with. Have you found the right word yet?
That was sweet. Very deceptive pass. Usually on a 3-on-1 situation, you start out throwing the ball in this direction like you're going to throw it out to this man coming in, and actually what happens is it goes.
Ooh, y'all see that? That was hard. That was hard. You know, that was, hey. Yo, I heard he could drop 40 like it was nothing. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Comment, let me know any other videos you'd like to see me do. Talk to me in those comments. Let me know what you think of Pistol Pete. That being said, see you guys next video.